older side of things. I want to see a baseball player, right? I'm really overly not concerned about the metrics. I'm going to look at the numbers. I'm going to dive into them later on. I want to see somebody who carries himself like a baseball player. Somebody who acts the right way, somebody who interacts with their teammates the right way. And in my mind, there's a certain way a baseball player is supposed to look. I want to see, for a position player, I want to see an efficient swing. I want to see somebody who's just not, overpowering, somebody who doesn't look like they've had 9,000 hitting lessons in their life. I want to see some athleticism. I want to see somebody who looks like they could play another sport. I want to see how much bat speed they can generate without much effort. Defensively, especially in the infield, I want to see somebody who moves efficiently, somebody who has a good clock. You can see they have an internal clock, not somebody who fields a ground ball, takes 6 crow hops because they know there's a radar gun on the other end to see what their arm speed is across the diamond. I want to see infielders throw off the run. I want to see them throw from different arm angles. Outfielders, I want to see a really nice, smooth, athletic gait. You can tell when somebody tracks after a fly ball that they got it. It's not, there's a lot of effort. I just want to see somebody who can play the game that looks easy to me, right? That was always the thing. You watch the great players and there was just a way about them, the way they carried their glove. From a pitching standpoint, it's the same way. I want to see somebody. Of course, the pitching is easier because with all the data, to me, the data is easier to interpret. But I want to see somebody who's not finished yet. I want to see somebody who has a nice frame, somebody whose arm is nice and easy, somebody whose arm is efficient, somebody who can make the ball jump out of their hand, somebody who can throw strikes, somebody that can hold runners on. That's the biggest thing. Somebody who can field their position. There's so much velocity, Dave. You and I are at a lot of different events. There's so much velocity out there these days. And for the hitters, we all train for velocity now. So the number of guys throwing 93, 94, 95 that have a hard time getting people out right now, it's incredible. So when I go watch, you've seen me, I don't take 9 million notes. I just watch, and I should be able to remember who I like, who's doing something to catch my attention. My very first recruiting event ever, I fell in love with this kid watching him run to and from his position. This was 25, 26 years ago. I kind of just watched him. He just caught my eye all the time. Ran to his position, ran off the field, the way he held the glove in his hand. He was a center fielder and everything else. I kind of looked at his information. I saw he was only a freshman. So I kind of tracked and everything else. And I didn't take a note on this kid. I didn't do anything. It was Sam Fold.
Oh.
So it was Sam Fold. I'm just watching him up at the top 96 of the Lightning event up in Lynn, Massachusetts.
Amen. Hometown.
The very first event I went to. And he caught my attention just by the way he ran on and off to his position.
Coach, I realize the information you just gave over the last 2 minutes, how valuable that is. Anyone listening to this, any recruit, any parent, I don't think that's old school. That's the right school, what you just talked about.
Amen.
I try to explain sometimes that I may see a guy swing and sky a ball in the middle of the infield. And to me, it takes such a good, easy bat speed. And to me, it means way more than somebody fighting the ball off and, hitting a blooper into right field. That's a base hit. I see that kid and I get excited about that kid who just missed one and skied one up into the infield. So when we go to events, the last thing that we really care about are results. Dave, you were probably the same thing. When we go watch middle infielders, I want to see a middle infielder make an error, and I want to see how comfortable he looks fielding the next ball hit to him. Mm-hmm. I want to see whether there's any thought about the ball that he just missed, right?
Well, God, I'm going to tell you this, and I've said this to many coaches, young coaches. One of the biggest things I bear down on the infield is the slow roller, because that's everything about transfer and footwork in one little play right there. Who's stiff and who's athletic to move around on the infield?
No doubt. No doubt. And I try to tell kids when they put together videos, that they send out to coaches, don't make it a robotic video. Don't worry about mechanics. Don't worry about it. Catch a ball in the hole and throw off your back foot. Don't, take 6 steps to be cautious. Cautious. Hey, if I see somebody and he's cautious at an event, pretty good chance he's going to be that caution is going to turn into nerves when the game starts. Show me somebody who is free and loose and not afraid to, like you said, throw off the run, throw from different arm angles. An outfielder. If I see an outfielder catching with 2 hands, to me, there's some apprehension there, especially when they're off the run. You see an outfielder who's off the run and he's got to, reach up and he just kind of reaches up casually with one hand and catches it. To me, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Coach, this is kind of my last question, but I really feel it's important. I really want to get this out there. And